Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Melinda with Infinite Guided Coaching, and if you have landed on this channel, then welcome in. I am so glad that you are here. This channel is going to be all about ascension, stepping into your power, manifesting your highest and best life. I do use hypnosis. I do use Theta Healing, so we're going to be diving into some beautiful meditations and confidence, stepping into your power, meditations which will help you grow and evolve. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on what is ascension and how can you navigate around what are all the symptoms that are showing up for you in your life moving forward. So ascension, what is it? Ascension is your spiritual growth, tapping into the divine, wanting to release what no longer serves you, enlightenment, feeling this beautiful connection, this beautiful awakening within you, and the desire to be your highest and best. And so let's go ahead and dive into what are the symptoms. The first symptom is really increased awareness. Now, this is where you're going to start being so aware of what you are thinking, what you are seeing, what is going on around you. You're going to start really having this hyper focus of seeing different things and really having this increased awareness of what is going on around you. It's almost like you have this lens all of a sudden that's showing up and you see everything in a different point of view. The next one is your heightened intuition. And your heightened intuition is, I know for myself, I've always been very, very intuitive. And we are going to dive into more of that, by the way. What is intuition about? And we all have the capacity to really be intuitive, to be psychic. And so I'm going to be diving into that into another video, by the way. So if you like this content, if you're loving this information, definitely hit that subscribe bell, because you're going to be getting more juicy content just like this so that you can evolve to your highest and best self. And so your heightened intuition, you're going to start really being more aware of your intuition, aware of your third eye. Again, you may start seeing messages, start seeing visions, things may start popping up. You may feel a bit like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this? Am I crazy? Others may start looking at you like, what is going on with her? She is starting to see things. He is starting to see things. So these are all signs and symptoms that you may be going through this. And number 3 is your desire for inner growth. You may really start to be drawn to spiritual retreats, spiritual knowledge, spiritual authors, gurus that are really out there that have a lot to teach you about spirituality. I know for me, I couldn't get enough. I was just drawn into and wanted to evolve, learn, grow as much as I can. So the need to really, the desire for inner growth was very, very powerful. And I wanted to learn as much as I could as soon as I could. And so number 4 is you're going to start questioning your beliefs. Right now, for me, I grew up in a very Southern Baptist home here in the South. I have lived all over the world and have friends all over the world. And so, but for me in the South, right here in this, had a very Southern Baptist upbringing where we did go to church every single Sunday, right? I had certain Bible lessons that I had to learn. I had to do certain things that I was involved in. My father was very, very involved in church. My mother was very, very involved in church. And so I really started questioning those with beliefs within that religion. And while I have a high respect for that, right, I really started questioning, why does it just have to be that way? And started wanting to learn about other forms of religion, spirituality, and really started deleting from my life judgment around all of that, because really we are one, right? We are one all together, right? Religion typically tends to separate us versus spirituality really brings us in together. And so I really became aware and started questioning those things. And again, I do have a high respect for that still, but my knowledge really has expanded since then, and it really has been a beautiful thing. And so number 5 is really about the divine synchronicities that you are going to start experiencing in your life. For me specifically, it was around a lot of spiritual numbers like 444, 555, 888. I'm very, very drawn to the number 8 because, of course, infinity, infinite. We will go into another video on all of those spiritual meaning behind the numbers and how powerful it is. But I also started seeing different things like birds more often, or different spirit animals, and started really looking into, why am I always seeing an eagle? Why am I always seeing owls all of the time, right? And so they became important for me to learn more about that. And I started getting these signs, these synchronicities, and it was a beautiful thing in my spiritual journey because I really wanted to evolve and grow, and it helped really let me know that my angels were there, or that things were happening in my life. And it truly is amazing. And so number 6 is really profound empathy. Now, this is where I've always been empathetic all my life, right? I've always been one of those kids that has been, very empathetic towards others. But when I was going through my spiritual awakening, my empathy just blew up. It's really almost like a lotus flower in your heart is just opening up wide, 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 wide. And I became profoundly empathetic towards animals, towards plants, towards Mother Gaia, towards the earth, and different things, and the connection, and then the knowing that we're all truly connected. Empathy, as well as I can walk into a store, walk into someone's home, and really feel their energy. I'm very, very connected to how others feel. And when you are so profoundly an empath, you can feel other people's energy. So I have the capacity, and most likely if you are watching this video right now, you do as well, right? To really tap into others and feel their energy more, right? If they're in a negative frame of mind, if they're a positive person, you can really tap into that. So number 7 is the desire for solitude. And this is something at first I was like, why am I wanting to spend alone time so much, right? I did enjoy it before, but at this time I really, really started really wanting and desiring the need for total alone time, not watching television. Sometimes, yes, right? But typically alone time meaning just me and nature, or me and meditation, or just total quietness. And when I really discovered this about myself and stepped into the power and the knowing that it's okay, and navigating around how I can protect my energy, and that this is really important to fill my cup, to have that alone time so that I could refill my battery, right? Because that is how I refill my battery, is to have that alone time, to have that meditation time. And then I feel better about going out around other people, right? And so we're going to get into more how you can protect your energy through that alone time, through being an empath, through being so intuitive as you go through this spiritual awakening. And so number 8 is really the desire for peace. I really started wanting to have a peaceful life, to if others were around me and they were gossipers, or they were about drama, or it was always something about talking about somebody behind their back or something like that, I really wanted to step back from that, right? And reevaluate how that affects the peace in my life. I started looking at my environment more, where I lived, my home, what kind of things, crystals, all different things, how I could bring peace more into my life. And so peace becomes very, very important to you. And also the peace within this world, right? What's going on in the world. And I became very, very affected by that. And so because of that, I did stop watching the news, and I started being very, very careful about what I put into my mind, because peace became very, very important to me. Number 9 is heightened creativity. And this is really all about, like, I have a lot of clients, and including myself, where when you do go through your spiritual awakening, you are really going to want to expand on your creativity. Some clients, like, they love planting a garden, being in the earth, their feet in the ground. Some of my clients and people that I know that have gone through this spiritual awakening, they start painting more. They start doing artistic things more. They may start singing more, or start being more involved in theater. And this really fulfills something deep within them, right? A lot of times we love those things when we were younger, but we were told, you know, oh, don't do that because you have to get a real job now. Well, when you go through your spiritual awakening, your spiritual ascension, you're going to be drawn to those things like a magnet, right? And starting to want to do more of what fulfills your soul, what makes your heart sing. And so the next thing, number 10, is really vivid dreams. And this is all about what I would say is to be sure and have a dream journal. Because when I started going through my spiritual awakening, my ascension, I would, and I still do, right? But I started waking up between the hours of 3 to 5 a.m. And it became a very repetitive process, where I would wake up and feel very, very energetic and get all of these downloads about what's going on in my life, how to navigate it, all of those different things. I started getting, more intuitive insight at that time. And so I really, really encourage you to get that dream journal, to put it by your bed whenever you do wake up. Just look at your journal and write whatever comes out. And then the next morning, look at everything that you've written, and it's going to help you navigate around all that. So if you've really enjoyed this content and the 10 symptoms, 10 signs, please do hit the little subscribe button. And if you have something that you are going through that wasn't on the list, please do share, because it helps others that are going through this awakening, this ascension. Please do comment below what you are going through, so that we can help others in this process. And more good videos about your spiritual awakening, manifesting your highest and best life are coming your way. So until next time, my friends, I'll see you soon.